I just realized the stream starting thing wasn't up the whole time. That's fine. It's whatever. Hey, Chime. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yep, we were right here. Okay. So, what were we doing? Oh, that's right. We found out about the other witness who is the owner of that boat rental place. Right. So we have to go over and check that out. Um, I set up, so I added two emotes. Here, let me just. So I added. Nope, shoot. Good doggo. And evil doggo from yesterday's stream. I took out Gardevoir because I didn't think anybody was using it too much. I left the other ones for now, but I might, if people aren't using them, I might take them out so we have more slots. So, what else did I get working? Oh, that's right. I have 0 points. But I got the Streamlabs thing set up, so um, you can people earn points. You know, the whole Streamlabs thing. The only things I have set up to be redeemable right now are suggest a game and pick a game. Uh, yeah, just from like watching and stuff, people get points pretty much. Um, and then there's also like you can redeem them for different things. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to add. So far, all I have is pick a game and suggest a game. Suggesting a game is fairly cheap. Just suggest a game and I'll check it out to maybe play on stream. Picking a game, I will add it to the next like poll for which game we should play next. That one's a bit more expensive though, and there's only like I can only take one suggestion between games pretty much. So, and then I also have a couple lined up for Pokemon games when we play those, like capture a specific Pokemon or add a specific Pokemon to the team. But obviously, we're not playing Pokemon right now, so I don't know. Hmm? No, you should have points. In fact, if you put in exclamation points, you should have at least 300. Because I gave you and some of the other regulars who have been here for a while a good chunk of points to start out with. Yep. Yeah, don't worry too much about it. Unless you like want to suggest a game or something, or like pick a game. I think. Yeah, picking a game is pretty expensive though. I'm not sure if it's on mobile or not. Like if it works on mobile or not. Hold on, I could actually check. That's right, I was going to check that. Yeah. Well, honestly, it's probably not as much as you even should have. Should probably be more, honestly. Um, there are no available redemptions. What? Drop frames. Are we dropping frames? Oh, it's probably because I opened up Twitch on my phone. That's why. Yeah, it's saying there's no available redemptions. Let's see. Loyalty. Yep. That's odd. There should be 2 things available in there. Here. Let me see a minute. So, for example, if I do suggest game and then just say, yeah. So you can still do it through commands, but I'm not sure why it's not showing up in the store. I'll figure it out later. And if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see in the store, let me know. Alright, so yeah, the other one, so that's suggest game, and then the other one is pick game. You know, capital P, capital G, so. Alright. Hey, Nick! This is that boat shop that Lotta was talking about. You're right. Doesn't seem to be anyone around at all. Well, let's go check it out anyway. We're still dropping a bunch of frames. We're still dropping a lot of frames, according to OBS. How are things on your end, Chime? Because OBS says we just dropped a lot of frames. It's going down now, so it looks like it leveled out. I think it's probably because I opened up Twitch on my phone. Okay. So yeah, you might want to refresh because otherwise the stream to chat lag will be a bit much, but otherwise we should be fine. It looks like it's going down now. I think it's probably because I tried to open Twitch on my phone as well. So it probably was too much for my internet to try and do both at the same time. Alright, let's take a look around. A small boat rental shop. Doesn't look like anyone is around. They're probably closed because of the murder. There are some boats floating at the dock. The murder took place in a boat from this dock. Apparently, the police took away the actual boat that was used that night. Indeed, there's a space for one more boat at the dock. What? No, stop it. Why are we still dropping frames? Is something else connected? Sorry, it's... Yeah, no, I'm the only thing connected. Okay, whatever. Seems to be evening itself out, so... Oof. Are we still chugging? Are we still chugging hard? Why are we trekking so hard? No? We're good? Okay. Then, yeah, okay. Then OBS is just being twitchy. Okay. Okay, that's good. Doesn't look like anyone is around. Okay, they're probably closed. Okay. So... Yep, okay. Huh. I thought there would be something here. Unless we can go inside now. Oh, we can. Okay. Parrot. December 26th, Caretaker Shack. Meg, that you? Yeah. Hey, is that Keith with you? Where have you two been? I've been worried sick. Nick, you handle this. I think I'll leave this one up to you, Maya. Meg! Yes? Finally made up your mind, have you? My mind? You'll run the pasta shop when I'm gone. Pasta? I'm still not sure how I'm gonna do his voice. I know Coyle did him as a pirate because of the parrot, but I don't know for certain. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I guess I could just give him like a southern accent. No, then it's just gonna be louder but deeper. You make your old man proud. When you kids left the house, I didn't know what to think. How am I supposed to keep this place running, an old man like me? Polly, the kids are home. Hello, hello. Ah. Nick, what was that? A parrot. The one on the perch. Keith. Yes? I leave the wet noodle in your capable hands, sonny. Nick? What's the wet noodle? Based on the available evidence, I'd say it's the name of his pasta shop. That's a relief, isn't it, Polly? Hello, hello. Huh? Hey, yep. He fell asleep. I guess he's relieved. A pasta shop? Yep. To think the wet noodle will live on when I'm gone. My father started it, you know, so that makes you two the third generation. Meg. Yes? Tomorrow we'll start the secret of dough tossing. Dough tossing? You too, Keith. Yes? You'll be the best pasta wrangler the West has ever seen. Pasta wrangler? The West? Isn't pasta from Italy? Meg! Yes? You know the best pasta's always been made west of the Rockies, don't you? Right. Of course. Everyone knows that. He is very, very old. He is past his prime very much so. He's quite possibly, very... We'll get a little bit more about him, but basically, at this point, he's so old, if he needs to remember something, he'll tell the parrot. Because the parrot will, like, repeat it back to him so he can remember things. Nick? Huh? How long do we have to keep up this all-in-the-family charade? This old man must know something about the murder. We're not leaving until we find out what that is. This is a boat rental shop, right? What are you talking about? This here's the Palace of Pasta, the wet noodle. Though, now you mention it, we haven't got many orders for spaghetti lately. All the kids come up and say, "Yo, dude, we want to ride in one of your boats." That's why I keep them boats out there. Youngsters these days. Darned if I understand them. I'm pretty confused myself. Nick, this isn't going anywhere. But this old man is the witness tomorrow, right? We've got to find some way of getting information out of him. Thank you. I'm basing the performance on my father. He snores. Wow! What an amazing parrot that is! Good morning. Hello? He ignored me. What? You forget Meg? You gotta call her name first. Her name? Polly, how you been? Hello, hello. Ah. See? Neat. So the parrot's name is Polly. Too bad all she can say is hello. Old Polly can say lots of things. You just need to know the secret words. The secret words? Now, listen here, Keith. Remember that tricolored pasta we were talking about? Our rainbow only. I figured out the last color we should use. Indigo blue. Indigo blue? That didn't seem to work the way I thought it might. Anything else to ask him about? Oh, Polly. My memory's been getting worse of late. That's why I'd just tell everything important to old Polly here. Everything important? I wonder. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228. Ah. Oh, right. Hey, Polly, watch it, will ya? See, Nick? All it takes is a little clever thinking. And a criminal mind. Quick, Nick, write that number down. Number down. It was 1228, wasn't it? Can you do me a favor a sec? And, yeah, can you scroll back a sec and make sure it was 1228? It was? Okay. I have it written down. Hey, don't get me involved in your little heist schemes. So wait. Is there a safe here then? Is this it? Look, a little safe. It's locked. Oh, okay, we can't open it, even if we do know it. Okay. Wow, he has a television in here too. Alright. Look, Nick, he has an electric blanket on his table. Looks warm. That's a great idea. We should do that at the office. We can sit down with our clients, snug and warm, and drink hot cocoa. And what? Talk about murders? Aw, you're such a party pooper, Nick. Looks like a kitchen unit. It's pretty clean. Funny, he doesn't look like the type who'd keep things tidy like that. You're forgetting, Nick. He's running a pasta shop here. Yeah. Wow, there's lots of various shifts in Gourd Lake, aren't there? Something's funny, Nick. All these fish are saltwater fish. Yeah. It's like an exhaust fan. We have one of those downstairs in the kitchen. Alright, I think that's all we're gonna get out of him for now. I think so. I don't know, does he have anything else to say? Maybe he does. Nope, that was it. Yeah, saltwater. So, they're all from, like, the sea and stuff. Alright, we talked to him about everything. Let's see, where else can we go? Let's see, we had the detention center, so we could go back and try and talk to Edgeworth again. Let's go see if Gumshoe's around. Detective Gumshoe isn't here. Now that you mention it, he did say he had a... Didn't he say he had a meeting to go to? Ah, that's right. Let's come back later. Alright, let's go see if... we can go talk to Edgeworth a minute. Looks like Edgeworth isn't questioning. Let's come back later. Guess so. Alright. Grossberg, maybe? I should pull up the wiki, or the guide, in case I need it again. Let's see, we are... Okay. Apparently, Mr. Grossberg is on vacation today. Well, I guess I can come back tomorrow, if I need anything. So many black layers. Oh, so many comeback laters, yeah. So many things to do later. Ah, fresh air. I gotta say, freedom feels great. Behave yourself in the courtroom tomorrow, okay? Misbehaving's much more fun. It's not going to be so much fun when Edgeworth refuses to pay your bail again. Right. I'll behave. Oh dear. Okay, so... that's odd. It says that he should say something else after we present Polly to him. Let's go back there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is on mobile, isn't it? Okay. So can we talk to you about Polly again? What are we doing here? Let's try presenting Polly again. Okay. So... now listen here, Keith. Remember that Dracula... Okay. Plus, indigo blue. So talk about Polly again, I guess? My memory's been getting worse of late. That's why I just tell everything important to old Polly here. Everything important? I wonder. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228. Oh, right. Hey, Polly, watch it, will ya? See, Nick? All it takes is a little clever thinking. And a criminal mind. Okay, so... Polly... I'm the caretaker will tell you that little Terry was here. Yeah, I guess? We examined it earlier. Look, a little safe. It's locked. Yeah. Apparently, he should tell us about, Gumshoe coming to talk to him. Maybe if we... That didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're finally getting some use out of the badge. Okay. Huh? That's a lawyer's badge. Yes, it is. I don't believe it. This old guy is the first person to recognize my badge. I get it. Huh? Yep. I got you figured out now. You're not Keith. Nick, now's our chance to clear things up. Sir, no, I'm not Keith. And I'm not Meg, either. We're here investigating a murder that took place on this lake the other night. Please, help us. A lawyer, huh? Please, mister. Alright, I'll help. Well, I guess this means the guide isn't infallible then, because it didn't mention anything about using the badge. Good thing I figured it out, though. Okay. But on one condition. What's that? When this case is over and done, you'll run the wet noodle. Yeah, let's promise to. Well, we have to. Okay, we promise. Also, I guess so. That, or he might just forget that he made us promise to do that. Actually, if this case goes the way I think it will, this won't matter for a very particular reason. But no spoilers. Anyway, Nick, are you sure about this? Hey, anything to get this case solved. I've played through this game once before. It was 2 or 3 years ago, though. But I do remember some things, and I think I remember the way this case shakes out. But I'm not spoiling anything. Also, who wouldn't want to eat Phoenix noodles? I guess so. That's good, my boy. Good for you, Keith. See, he's already forgotten that we're not Keith. What? Wait, didn't I just say... You too, Meg. Yes? You bring a tear to your old man's eye, you know? Now, what was that you wanted to know? Speak up, Polly. Hello. Hello. Ah. Now he's talking to the bird again. How do we get him to talk to us? Okay. I don't know. Maybe now we present the bird? Polly here's my only friend in the world. Isn't that right, Polly? Hello. Hello. Yep. Okay. Yep, I seen this. You know something about this, sir? Keith. Yes? It's okay. You can call me Dad. Dad, you know something about this? Yep. The other night, out on the lake. Yes? Yes? I know all about that. I seen it. What? Tell us what you saw. Well, I suppose, since you're taking over the shop and all. I forget the time, but it was pretty dark outside. Probably night. Yep. It was after midnight, but okay. Then I heard this bang, so I looked outside. Then I heard another one. Bang! A little while later, this boat comes back, and a young man walked by my window here. He was muttering something to himself. Yep. What did he say? Yep. I forgot. I'll remember tomorrow by court time. Promise. We need to know earlier than that. You know what? Well, Terry was just here. Terry? Yep, that kid next door. You always used to make him cry, remember? He was wearing this tattered old coat, got himself some whiskers growing out of his face. He must be talking about Detective Gumshoe. He comes up and tells me to come down to court tomorrow. Really? Somehow I don't think we're gonna get much useful information from this guy. Maya, maybe we should be leaving. I think you're right. Oh, wait! I had one more question. Huh? Polly, have we forgotten something? Scrap! Don't forget DL6! Scrap! Huh? What did she just say, Nick? One more time, Polly. Don't forget DL6! Ah! What? The DL6 incident? Hey, mister, I mean, Dad. This is getting weird. Who is this old guy? Why would that bird Polly know about DL6? We have to figure out who that old man is. Oh. What? He locked the door from the other side. Who could that old man be? I think I need to do a little more research on this DL6 incident. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe.
Hey, pal! Long time no see.
Oh, if you look over his shoulder to the right, you'll see the proto badger. Did you watch Coil's stream last night? No? Okay. There's Edgeworth has to make a drop off for a ransom thing, um, at a amusement park based around like the blue badger and all of that. So there was 4 badgers. There was Proto Badger, which is the one on the far right, and then in the second game there's a badger called Bad Badger, and then in the third game there's 2 called Blue Badger and Pink Badger. And he's like, wait a minute, Proto Badger never came first. And we were like, dude, I just played this game. And he was standing, like, sitting right there. I don't know. It's just kind of a. That game has a lot of references to, like, the main games. For example, we saw Salmonella last night, too. And apparently, Lottie also makes an appearance, like, as a cameo.
You don't look so happy. What's wrong this time?
Actually, we wanted to ask you something.
Yeah?
You know the boat rental shop down at Gourd Lake.
Oh, yeah.
The old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right?
Huh? How'd you... That was supposed to be top secret.
Do you know who that old man is, Detective?
Actually, I don't. He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. I decided first he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness. That's why we called Miss Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is, we have absolutely no idea.
Sounds suspicious. Detective Gumshoe, please, help us.
Huh?
We need to know about the DL6 incident.
That was when Edgeworth...
That was when Edgeworth's father died. I can't help but think that it has something to do with this current case.
To tell the truth, I don't know much about DL6 either. Mr. Edgeworth forbade us from reading the file. So, I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal.
What?
However, if you can convince me somehow that the DL6 incident is related to this case, well, I guess I'd consider opening the file up.
Maybe the bird?
What's that? A parrot?
The old man at the boat rental shop parrot. The parrot knew about that incident.
That incident?
DL6.
What?
Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk! Don't forget DL6. Squawk! Huh? I'm pretty sure that old man must have taught her that word.
Yeah, but how would that old man know about the DL6 incident?
Wait, what if that old man was connected to DL6? Nick, you think he might be?
I get you. Sounds like you need information on the DL6 incident. Through there's the station's records room. I'll give you special permission to go in and find what you need.
All right, way to go, Detective Gumshoe. Okay, Nick, to the records room. I guess it's time we faced Edgeworth's past. Exposition time. Wow! Although this is a visual novel, so it's all exposition time, technically. It's amazingly dusty. 10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess. Let's find that DL6 stuff, quick! 15 years ago, both me and Edgeworth were both 9 years old. We were almost through with 4th grade when he suddenly transferred. Because of DL6? Nick, I found out where the file is! Oh, thanks. Just let me know what you want to know about the DL6 incident. I'll go get the right file. Alright. Well, first I have to get a handle on the main facts. Like a summary. Right. Summary. Found it! Here you go. December 28th, 2001. That's exactly 15 years ago from the day after tomorrow. So in 2 days, the case is closed. The incident took place in the elevator of the district court. What? Is this the same district court where we're holding the trial now? Looks like it. There was a large earthquake on 2 p.m. that day. Part of the court building collapsed and all the lights went out. Wow, that was some earthquake. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued. 5 hours? That would be scary like that. In the dark? There was a lack of oxygen in the elevator and the survivors were unconscious. The survivors? One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart. That was Mr. Edgeworth's father, wasn't it? He said that his father was shot before his very eyes. So Miles Edgeworth was one of the other passengers in that elevator. Do you have the data on the victim? Edgeworth's father? Yeah, hold on. Victim... Here, found it! Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive, he'd be 50. He had lost the day's case in court, and he got into this elevator with his son, Miles. Miles? Miles Edgeworth, of course. So he was on the elevator with his father. From the angle of the bullet and other evidence, it could not have been a suicide. You can see the hole in the elevator window there. The murder weapon, a pistol, was found in the elevator. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Where have I heard that before? Huh, it sounds just like the current case. What's going on here? Got any data on the suspect in there? That would be the guy that my mom got arrested. Hold on. This is it. The man arrested as a suspect in DL6 was Yanni Yogi. He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So, he must have been the third person in the elevator. Well, then he had to have done it. But he was found innocent, thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond. Hammond, the victim in our case, Wright. The suspect, Mr. Yogi Bear, was oxygen deprived, so much so he had brain damage. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared. Where could Yogi have gone to? I wonder. He might be closer than we think. I guess I know generally what happened in DL6 now. I still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edward. Nick, are we going to take the whole file? It's too much. We'll never get it out. You're right. How about we just take what we think we'll need? What is it, Chime? Although I have a feeling you're putting two and two together and realizing something. Right. That's probably all we'll be able to find here. Now that's all that's left in the trial tomorrow. I wonder how Dad will do testifying in court. Oh, I'm kind of dreading this. 3 old men voices. Okay. Let's start. Ah, Dad, quotation marks.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready.
Who's the judge here anyway?
Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement? Very well. No opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order! Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah! Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I will call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand.
It's that mysterious boat shop owner.
Witness, state your profession.
I am the proprietor of the restaurant, the Wet Noodle at Gourd Lake. And, I also rent boats.
The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct?
Yep, I was.
Please testify.
Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this guy is. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet.
Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate.
Yeah, right.
The witness will state his name.
Well, I'm not really sure.
Yep. What do you mean?
My memory.
Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything besides the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't really recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let us hear his testimony then. Shall we? Witness?
Possibly. If we asked, what's our name, she might tell us the name. The night of the murder.
It was in the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yep. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yep. When I looked out in the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict, now. Yes. Mr. Wright?
Of course we're gonna cross-examine. That would be ridiculous not to. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness.
Very well. You may begin. Rah! Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma. 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well, then let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness.
Alright. Sticky keys. Just after midnight, you say?
Yep, just around then.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yep.
When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today.
I asked him, and he remembered. Isn't that right?
Probably because he didn't want us cross-examining the witness. He knows that if we cross-examine the witness, we have a chance to pick apart his arguments. He wanted it to just be over. Remember, this guy is the guy who never loses. Like, he hasn't lost a single case in 40 years, even if he has to, like, do back alley stuff. And he was Edgeworth's mentor, so he's like Edgeworth, but even willing to go even further, so.
Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. Yep. You see, continue. I was in the restaurant.
Okay, then I heard a bang. And where did the bang seem to come from?
From the lake, I figure.
Man, he sounds a bit too much like Larry, doesn't he? Yeah.
Are you?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I gotta figure out what I'm doing to this guy, because his voice is gonna kill me.
Are you certain?
Oh gosh, I can't do his voice. Oh no.
Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue.
There we go. That's better. So you heard 2 gunshots total?
Yep.
That's what Alada said in her testimony yesterday. Okay, so... Okay, let's press him on this last bit, and then I'm gonna present the gun as evidence that more than 3 bullets were... more than 2 shots were fired. By your window?
Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack.
And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him.
This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony.
I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. If I know Von Karma, he spent time preparing his witness. I'm not going to find contradictions very easily in his testimony. Yeah, it's tough being a lawyer. Okay, so let me present the gun, because this has been bothering me ever since the last trial too. It was fired 3 times. Nobody has mentioned the fact that so far the witnesses have only testified to hearing 2 bullets. Dang it. Still can't... Okay, whatever. Alright, let's press him on the last bit. Yeah, probably. It'll probably come up later. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! Dead certain, Keith? He said, I can't believe he's dead as soon as he was walking by, too.
Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth?
It was him. It was that Edgeworth boy.
This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt.
Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. There you go, Chime. Nick, I don't like the way... Yeah, he did. He got overexcited and fell over. I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I'd better act quick or trial is going to be over. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's court that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun.
Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand?
Exactly.
That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true.
The judge is lost in thought. What should I do now? Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie...
Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof.
Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you.
3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
What? No!
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wait!
Who was that just now?
Me! Huh? What? Oh, it's Larry. Larry!
What are you doing here?
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park, in the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it.
Remembered what?
The gunshot! I heard it too!
Order! What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for an adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot?
Yeah, I did. A gunshot, that night. I was sitting here in the audience, listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you go call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify.
Order! Order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you have already given your decision. The trial is over.
Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry, he could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now.
A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned.
Phew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You were sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Yes. He said he went looking for the Steel Samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon and the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something, right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah? might be our chance. Our chance? When Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses. Perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? Likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everything depends on Larry now. There's a scary thought. Everything depends on Larry now.
Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything you saw on the night of December 24th.
Right. Leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break.
That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any matter, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick.
Okay. Something wrong, Mr. Wright?
There were so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it?
Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So, I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak.
And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? Looking for something?
Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that were the truth.
This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. So, I quietly flipped this... Okay.
Around what time was that?
Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12. Yeah.
Yeah, he was technically.
You're not sure?
Hey, don't give me that face.
I'm not sort of human sundial, okay?
People use watches these days, Larry. I really need to map shift to something else. Or I need to map select to something else. I keep hitting shift a bunch of times and then sticky keys comes up. Where did the sound come from?
Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know? Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked.
Oh gosh. Wasn't there a boat out on the lake?
Order, order! Well, Mr. Butts.
Whoa, whoa!
Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not.
Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case.
Hmm.
Oh no, now sticky keys is enabled. Gosh darn it. Turn off sticky. Okay. So, you only heard one bang, correct?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? Yeah, I just did. I just pulled up the setting in Windows and I disabled it altogether. I don't even know what you would use sticky keys for. I don't even know what it does. I just know it's really annoying whenever you accidentally hit shift too many times. It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Okay, so... he was looking for... Gordy, wasn't he? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, he did. He gave us a second chance. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? Okay. That's not always clear what you're supposed to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, we forgot to press on this bit, that's why. So, you only heard one bang, correct?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Nick? Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy... oh, okay. That's why I didn't notice it. Didn't we have the, testimony from Lada? Yeah. There it is. Wait a second, Larry.
What?
You only heard one bang? You're sure?
That's what I said.
But Miss Lotta Hart testified that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night.
Huh?
Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said?
Yo, Nick, please.
Huh?
You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay?
Mr. Butts.
What?
You only heard 1 gunshot? Are you sure?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure.
Eh?
Not sure? How could you not be sure?
Yeah, well, I, might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else.
Something else?
My radio, dude, on my headphones.
What? Oh no, he's got AirPods in. He didn't hear the second gunshot.
Order! Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts! You are listening to a radio on earphones?
Yeah, so what? Is that a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal?
Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time.
I do not accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue his testimony? Please continue. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony.
Bah! Nothing more is pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony, and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me.
I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country?
I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drumbeat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe his testimony.
Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot.
Excuse me? DJ?
An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have only heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. So, you turned on the radio?
Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there, alone on Christmas Eve. Alone!
I shouldn't have said anything. Do you, by any chance, remember the name of the program you were listening to?
This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night?
Real booming loud?
Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on? Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all.
Can you prove that? No, of course you can't.
Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know?
What did he say?
Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said to do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care.
We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask,
Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot?
Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Okay, so... yeah, I think it's gonna be the time. Because she said it's almost Christmas, so it's almost midnight. Are you sure?
Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice.
Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. Okay. so let me check here. Is there something with the time? Approximately 12:15 a.m. So that would have been later, right? There it is, yep. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct?
Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easily.
Is something a matter, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot.
Indeed. And...
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
But he should have heard that gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact.
Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Miss Hart's camera. 12:25 00:15. Huh. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day.
This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor.
Order! Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What?
What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the shot before midnight?
Larry? No, not Larry's wrong. Shoot.
Wait. I come up here, I give you a riveting testimony, and you laugh it off like some kind of mistake? What about me? How can you call yourself a friend, Nick? Huh? How? Get used to disappointment. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight?
Okay, there we go. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight.
Okay, finally we get to the gun. Gosh dang it. This is my evidence.
The murder weapon?
Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Yeah, it was bothering me too, Phoenix. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight.
Order! Order! I guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah! You waste our time again with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence to prove that there was a gunshot before midnight?
Yes, we do. Do you remember what it is, Chime? It's something that you were wondering about earlier. Something that doesn't show anything on its face, but is actually quite important here. Think what? So, if there was a shot fired before midnight, what would have happened? shows an empty lake, taken automatically at 12:24 at 11:50 p.m. It's the second photo. What's important is not what's on it, it's the fact that it took a photo automatically because of a loud sound at around 11:50 p.m. before midnight. It's almost midnight. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m.
Oh yeah? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture.
Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises.
Aha!
Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. This is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims.
Order! Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, then there were two sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50 and another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why?
Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Excuse me. I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya? Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Wright.
The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth? There can be no other murderer here than Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself.
Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility.
Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes before midnight, or 15 minutes after midnight.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 00:15.
But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.
Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who this is sitting on the boat.
The murderer and Hammond. It was the murderer and Robert Hammond.
What are you saying? That contradicts what you just told the court. mentioned that Robert Hammond had been killed 25 minutes before this gunshot.
Yes, that's right.
Also, might I mention, the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth, has admitted to being on that boat.
Right, Your Honor. Crash and burn.
Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Nope.
Mr. Wright? Your client has already been declared guilty once. I'm going to have to penalize you for this foolishness. I'll ask you again. Explain who is this sitting on the boat.
Edgeworth in the murder? Yeah, I guess. There he goes, yep. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Ah, I see, okay.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know about Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place.
I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright? Tell us the name of the murderer, then.
The murderer's name? Right, it's... Actually, I don't know the murderer's name.
You don't know? Bah! Again you waste my time!
I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
The caretaker of the boat shop? Well, where did he do this? There wasn't any boats on the lake then.
Why would he have to go all the way out to the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not in a boat?
What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the murder really took place. So if it didn't take place out there, then it must have taken place in front of the shack, right? Somewhere right around there? Yep. Here, of course, the boat shop, where he lives. By the way, before we do anything where I'm not sure, I better save state, because I think we're down to our last chance. And I don't want to have to restart this whole section over again. Because that's what happens if you mess up too many times, you have to restart the whole, like, this bit, like the whole trial bit. Like, you don't have to go all the way back to the first save, but you do have to go back to the beginning of the trial bit. So. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing.
Objection. You have proof that the boat shop was the scene of this crime.
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. There's Larry. That night he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat?
The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really? But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then, he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake.
Then, who fired the pistol in the boat, Mr. Wright?
The boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth, on purpose.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone?
Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice.
Oh no, we still have 2 chances, okay. To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor.
Create a witness?
The murderer lifts his pistol and fires 1 shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him.
I see. Someone looking from the edge of the lake. It would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to the shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. That's why he was still shot from the correct distance. A distance at which it couldn't have been suicide.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. The boat shop caretaker, quickly.
I was doing that other guy's voice. I'll be glad when he's gone. I think this is the only trial he actually is the prosecution in. Except for maybe the 5th one. I've never played the 5th one, so I don't know.
Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said?
Yes.
Well, why did you go to the lake that night?
What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at the midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me.
Something important?
I'm sorry, I can't say what it was.
Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask you that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him, quickly! We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Yay, Nick! You did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry. But I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. And I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you, to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Okay, I have to use the bathroom a minute, so I'm gonna take a quick, like, couple minute break here, and I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll throw on some music a sec, and I will be right back, okay? Alright, sounds good. Ooh, Dialga's Fight to the Finish. Remastered, that's nice. Ah, here we're back, okay. Alright, I'm back. Save and continue. Probably be able to get through this case today. And then we only have one more case left for this game. So, I don't know how long that one is, because it's a DLC one, so it might be one stream, it might be 2 streams. Apparently it's a pretty fun one, though. What was Mr. Edwards talking about? A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of murder. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he never takes someone's life. Never. Nick.
Yo, how's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? I had him swooning in the aisles. Huh, Maya?
Swooning? Me? Oh. Oh yes. I do remember feeling faint.
Right on. Tell me the truth. It was love at first sight, right? Right, Nick?
Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two.
I think you can do better than that. Come on. I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy. You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah, bow before your hero.
Larry, you really helped us out in the trial today. You did. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty.
But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet.
Way to spoil the mood, Larry.
Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know he's telling the truth about that night?
Nick? I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to believe in you two until the end.
Us two?
Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right?
Nah, he means me. Right, Nick?
Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry?
Huh? Actually, yeah. Why me, Nick?
Enough for the silent treatment. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, that's true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yes, in grade school. They saved me, Miles and Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? What? Hey, Larry, what's he talking about?
Huh? Sorry. I kind of forgot.
Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm going to hear this story today, and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the beginning of spring, 4th grade. I was on trial. A class trial. Class trial? You remember, Larry? Spring, 4th grade? A kid in my class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school is really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared, with 38 bucks still inside.
Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that.
I could see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So, they thought you did it? Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day we held a classroom trial with me as the defendant. I didn't do it.
Guilty. He did it. Guilty. It was you. Thief. Give me my money back. You're such a meanie. No one play with him. Just admit you did it. You can't hide the truth. We're not gonna play with you anymore. Yeah, no borrowing my eraser. He shouldn't be allowed in the relay race. Give me back my 50 cents I loaned you.
Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Apologize to the class, Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad. I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went over to where the boy was sitting. That's when it happened.
You shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs.
Miles?
Hey, look at little Edgeworth. Look at little Edgeworth, isn't it? Hey. Aw. It wasn't you who stole my money, was it?
No.
Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent.
But Miles, it was your money that was stolen.
Yeah, he did it. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you just all shut up?
Oh, that was Larry.
This is how it always is. Everybody ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it.
Very well. I will replace the money myself. This class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were always friends. Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot.
That's why I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. Oof, yeah. I can kind of relate. I had something similar happen to me about the same age, where, like, even the teachers didn't believe I didn't do something. And, yeah, it sucked. It sucked so hard. Oh. Anyway. You did a good thing, Larry.
Yeah, well, I was just lucky I took the day off from school. If I had been there, they would have thought I had done it. So, I took it kind of personally, see?
When something smells, it's usually the butts. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. A famous defense attorney. Then, a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney." Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts. The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything.
But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all.
That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. That's when I decided. Huh? Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me. and I believed in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him.
Whoa, Nick. So is that why you helped me out for free?
Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free.
Aw, Nick! Nick!
Nick, we have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well may be. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. What did we clear out? So, I'm not sure what we cleared out. Whatever. He said we didn't need it, so we don't need it. I want to go down and check if he's back at his place yet. Probably not. But maybe the parrot will be there.
Hey, pal. Long time no see.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe.
Close one today, eh? I got so worked up, I snapped my tie in half.
Sorry about that.
No problem, pal. Thanks to you, we now know who really did it.
You mean the boat shop caretaker?
Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow.
Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now, I'm off to catch me a criminal.
Detective Gumshoe sure is active today.
Oh, one other thing.
Eeh!
No one can go in the woods today.
The woods? Where Lotta was camping?
The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while.
I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble.
Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Alright. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's been too busy with the trial to show up for work. That old caretaker got away. Yup. I never imagined he might be the real murderer.
Ahem!
I know that clearing of the throat anywhere.
Aha! Hello, and what might be you doing here? Out for a walk? Hmm? Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon. You see?
Mr. Grosberg! This is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow.
That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right?
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not sure.
If you find anything out, go by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance.
Thanks. Bye. What do you think Mr. Grosberg was doing here anyway? Who knows? Hey, Parrot's still here. Nobody's home. Hello, hello. Ah. Hey, it's Polly. I wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello, hello. Ah. I can't believe he'd run and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, hello. Ah. Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick. You probably shouldn't just kidnap her. The police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Great, now the bird's going to hate me. Oh wait, the safe.
That reminds me, Nick. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228. Ah! Let's open it, Nick. Come on.
I'm sure there isn't any money in there.
Aww. But hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there.
I'm not so sure.
Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there.
I guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter.
A letter?
Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth?
Nick, why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here?
How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says, this is your last chance. Now is your time to get the revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letters goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Pulling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here, in perfect detail.
What do you think it means, Nick?
I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions.
But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean, get revenge on Miles Edgeworth?
Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. Alright, I guess let's... Oh, thanks, Danny. Danny Lee. Okay, so I think we've seen everything at the park for now. Let's see. Where else do we have to go? There's a detention center. Let's go down to the criminal affairs department. See what... No, Gumshoe actually shouldn't be here. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gone back yet. Gumshoe? He won't be coming back today.
Oh, really?
He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. The boat shop caretaker. He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Alright, let's go talk to Edgeworth, I guess. December 27th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. You look grim as always.
Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial.
Class trial? What do you mean?
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 4th grade?
Lunch money? Oh, right. I do seem to remember something like that.
Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers.
Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway.
Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney.
Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person.
one suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes. The man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. Yet, he was found innocent. The defense attorney got him off the hook.
That would be Robert Hammond.
On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder.
Lost your memory?
Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys.
What's your relationship with Von Karma?
He's my teacher, and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of the courtroom techniques from him.
So, he's like my sister was to you, Nick.
He's a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he's obsessed with doing everything perfectly.
Perfectly, huh?
In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And not one suspect was declared innocent. Ever.
But that's...
I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. What Von Karma does in his job to find the suspect guilty perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away.
Edgeworth, if what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right! Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit.
No kidding. Let's see what he has to say about the letter that we found. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where that boat rental caretaker lives.
I see. Revenge? On me?
Who is that old guy anyway?
I don't know.
Could he be an innocent defendant? You got declared guilty or something?
Nice, right? But I don't remember that old man. Not at all.
So, he was following this letter then?
Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is your time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Two men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond.
It also says this is your last chance.
Last chance? Last chance?
Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on the DL6 incident.
Wait, that old man.
What is it? Do you know who he is?
Yogi? Could he be Yogi?
Yogi?
The suspect in the DL6 incident. The one who was found innocent.
Yanni Yogi.
Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago.
And by the way, this whole thing is why Edgeworth freaks out about earthquakes. He just like earlier when there was that earthquake and he just like curled up into a ball in a corner. Like he just basically the emotional scarring from that incident is so deep, he just gets pulled back to that place whenever like there's a large enough earthquake or like turbulence or something on a plane even.
The quake was incredibly strong. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The air thinned, and as the darkness closed in on us in that little box, we became unsettled.
Help! I can't breathe.
Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier.
I want to get out. Help! Get us out!
Don't shout. You'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court, and Yogi was found innocent. Huh. But isn't that strange? This letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? Right. Yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether I should or not I should tell you. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. I think the time has come to tell all. The nightmare. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing. In the dark.
Help! I can't breathe.
Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier!
I want to get out. Help! Get us out!
Don't shout! You'll just use up more oxygen.
I can't breathe. You're using up my air.
What?
Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you. What? What are you? Stop breathing my air!
No, Father. He's attacking Father. Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was evidence from that day in courts or the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. Get away! Get away from my father!
Ah!
With that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. I'm afraid I could not do it justice. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But that's just a dream, right? Right? That thought is the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out their memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. What? If you think about it that way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean... It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. This is bad. What are we going to do, Nick? What can we do? I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do, like it or not. There's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident. Maybe. There is, Nick. There is someone else who knows about DL6. Yes, there is. Time to speak from the belly again. Mr. Grossberg.
Hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled.
No kidding. I can't believe you're not.
Just calm down and tell me what's happened, hmm?
Oh, it was. I gotta speak more from the belly. More from the belly, not just like making my voice lower. I've gotta speak more from the belly.
Just calm down and tell me what happened, hmm?
It's Mr. Edgeworth. He.
I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father.
It's only a dream. Only a dream.
I wonder.
What?
If that's the case, then why do you two look so troubled, hmm?
Well...
Also, consider this. Yogi White certainly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth. So deep, he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream. It was real. As you imagined, Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired, and the deed was done.
No! I don't believe it.
Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as a bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close.
What do you know about Edgeworth's father?
He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. Well, he may have had one peer now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey.
My sister.
Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques.
That's no surprise. No surprise.
Von Karma's an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods.
And?
He lost. And died in despair, as it were.
I see.
When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. That was your mother, Misty Fey.
I am Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi.
Yet Yogi was found innocent.
That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud.
That's right. Everyone thought she was, you see. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him.
I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son?
It's only a possibility, mind you, but a possibility nonetheless. Ah, she was a beautiful woman. I'm truly sorry about what I did.
Huh? Sorry about what? I think I'll stay out of this one.
Quite sorry. I have nothing to say concerning that. Gregory Edgeworth. He was a gifted man. His death was truly a loss. I wonder what would have become of Von Karma were he alive. This incident took place 15 years ago tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see the completion of not one, but 2 trials. All thanks to the statute of limitations. However, I'm afraid the damage the DL6 incident has done will never be erased. Oh! Well, this is the letter. It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond.
But why kill Robert Hammond?
Hammond was a skilled defense attorney, but he defended clients not for their sake, but for his own.
Huh? For his own sake.
He never truly trusted his clients, that one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability.
But he got his clients found innocent, so why should it matter?
Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially, he was ruined.
Huh?
You'll understand soon enough. Wait,
What is it?
this letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before. A long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do you have any idea who wrote this?
I think it was Von Karma, if I had to guess. Could it be my friend Von Karma?
On Karma? Why would he have something to do with this?
Well, I'm not sure.
Von Karma. Von Karma. Wait, you're right, my boy. This is Von Karma's handwriting. I'm sure of it. I used to see it all the time on court reports.
What? But that means the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was...
Correct. Manfred Von Karma himself.
What does this mean then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth?
If it truly was Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father.
Huh?
He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty.
Oh no. But how could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare.
That I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son.
What do you mean?
It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win. But he didn't make it through the trial unscarred.
What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma?
Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial. Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood.
Faulty evidence?
It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see.
A vacation?
Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting.
Really? He doesn't take vacations? Like, go to the sea? Or, to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe! You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya.
In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot.
Odd. If he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly, why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? When Karma is going to bring up DL6, you can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to DL6? I won't let him.
Yes, Mr. Wright. I hate to say this, even accidental murder is murder, you know.
I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick, Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty.
Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose I could go check again. Police files might hold something of interest.
Mr. Grossberg, Thank you.
I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim.
I understand. The police materials. There's hardly anyone here. Everyone must be out looking for the old guy, Yogi.
Ah, it's you. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. Staying out late looking for someone.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is pounding the pavement for real. We were wondering if we could check out the records room again.
Well, now, I can't just have anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma's in there now anyway. You can go in as long as he's there.
Von Karma?
Yes, he just arrived, actually.
Von Karma's in the records room. Nick, let's hurry. Dusty as always. We were only here just yesterday. I'm sure they just haven't had time to clean. What's wrong, Nick? Nothing. I was just noticing that he isn't here. On Karma. Huh? One of the drawers here is open. Someone must have been looking in it recently. The label says, unsolved cases. Evidence. Unresolved cases. Nick! File for DL6? It's completely empty! What?
What are you doing in here?
Eek! Von Karma!
You! How did you know my name?
Huh?
Have we met?
What are you saying? We see each other every day, don't we? We're Miles Edgeworth's defense team.
Defense team? I beg your pardon. You see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. They're like little bugs to me. Needless things to be crushed.
I can see how this guy was Edgeworth's mentor. Oh gosh. Mr. Edgeworth was your student, right?
A romanticist who could never shred that veneer of amateurism. Just like his father, always second rate.
Mr. Von Karma. You had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you?
Me? A grudge against that mere defense attorney? Why?
Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record? So you did. But what I don't get is, why did you take his son under your wing afterwards? The son of your most bitter rival.
That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you will lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit his own guilt.
His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean?
You're quite the researcher. If you've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow.
We were right. So Von Karma is going to bring up DL6 in court tomorrow. Oh, do we show him the letter? Let's see what his reaction is to the letter. Mr. Von Karma, have a look at this. This was you, wasn't it? You instructed Yanni Yogi to commit murder.
Yanni Yogi. How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after he read it.
So you admit it? You wrote Mr. Yogi this letter?
Yes, my dear defense attorney. Thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You saved me from a lot of needless hassle.
What? Nick, what is that thing? A stun gun. For defense. Self-defense. Usually.
Indeed. 600,000 volts will course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence.
600,000?
Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it, usually. Now,
Give me the letter.
No! No!
Whoa, what are you?
Nick, run! Ah! Maya!
Out of my way!
Ah!
Ah!
He got us. The letter's gone, of course. And he took the DL6 evidence. All of it. Back to having no clues. Wait. Maya jumped first. Maya! Is she okay? Maya! Maya, open your eyes. Maya! The letter. Did you take it? Huh? Oh, yeah. Are you okay? I couldn't stop him. I jumped as fast as I could, but one shot from that thing knocked me out cold. I'm useless. I'm no good as a lawyer or as a medium. I can't even call my sister. Not even now, when we need her the most. I wish I hadn't woken up at all. Maya! Ugh. There has to be some way I can help her. I'd better do something about her self-confidence first. Huh? Maya. She's holding something. What is that? A bullet? DL6 incident, evidence number 7, taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. I remember. Von Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. Put DL6 bullet in pocket. I'll prove it to you, Maya. You're most definitely not useless. I'll prove it to you in court tomorrow. To be continued. So yeah, let's finish this court case finally. I think Danny Lee literally just said, nice voice, and left. I think he thought I was trying to do that voice on, like, just normally or something. This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge? Right. Good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out.
Whoa! Bow!
What's gotten into that girl?
Detective Gumshoe.
Morning, Mr. Edgeworth.
Good morning. How did it go, Detective?
Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal.
Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired.
Actually, after that shock, I got on the way in, I feel pretty good.
Yogi says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready. Huh? Very well. Right. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood.
Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says.
Very well, Mr. Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker is yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary.
Very well. Please bring in the witness into the courtroom.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where you witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity.
Witness? Why did you run away yesterday?
The witness was not running away, as he will now testify.
I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony.
Why I left court?
I'm really sorry about leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, you see. I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I've got one. So, my testimony yesterday stands as is.
Very well. Let us begin the cross-examination, shall we?
He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Food?
Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmet, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown.
But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack?
Well, I kinda got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack.
Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that.
I see. So he was lost.
Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Hedgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right?
Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible.
I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. First things first, I have to prove this man is who he is. Do that and the motive will prove itself. Then why did you leave?
He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking?
If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. Or maybe 30 seconds, huh? You've lost much of your memory, is that correct?
Yep. Seems like it.
Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are.
The witness has testified quite clearly he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof.
How am I supposed to prove that what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible.
I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue.
Might I say something, Mr. Wright?
Yes? Yes, Your Honor.
You've been saying this same thing over and over now. You've been calling the witness' memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the card case?
Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case, and no motive. Both of these statements are lies.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying... Are you saying you know who this witness is?
Of course, Your Honor.
Ho ho! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he?
Don't play dumb, Von Karma.
Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name.
Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff.
Yogi. That name sounds familiar. Yogi Bear. I haven't heard that name in several years.
Oh boy. Because technically, canonically, both he and his brother are like, his brother is Canadian, so he's at least half Canadian, right?
Oh, Yanni Yogi from the DL6 incident.
I thought the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case.
But what does that mean? What does this mean?
Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive.
Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory.
This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago.
I see. That makes sense.
Huh?
I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright.
Why?
The witness has no fingerprints.
What? What? No fingerprints?
You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep.
What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingertips off to hide your past.
Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I suppose we will not be able to prove his identity.
No.
Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided. No?
No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. No, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way.
There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one.
Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do?
Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief?
Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Miss Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine the parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal.
Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal?
Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Oh, I could say that with a straight face.
Order. Order. Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object.
Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested.
Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences.
Nick, this is crazy.
Well, still want to go through with your little game?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor.
This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard.
Von Karma rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence. Except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so.
Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name.
Name. The witness is ignoring me.
It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Parrot or Larry? As a witness, the parrot, honestly. Like, as a witness, the parrot's more reliable than Larry.
Ahem. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify it for us.
Hello, hello. Ah.
Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination.
Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Thank you.
Hello, hello. Ah.
Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have you forgotten anything? Oh, what's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name? Polly, what's your name?
Polly. Ah.
Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity?
No, it doesn't. Well, I guess it doesn't really have anything to do with that, no.
Please only ask questions pertaining to the matter at hand. Very well, witness. Continue your testimony.
Yeah. I was just wondering if we asked, what's your name, if she would, tell us his name.
Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to the parrot.
Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Okay. Have you forgotten something? Remember, 2 days ago. Need to drink of water. Polly, have we forgotten something?
Ah. Don't forget DL6. Ah.
If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something?
Hello. Ah.
Huh? That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot? Something we forgot.
Hello. Ah.
Uh-oh. It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it?
Something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot. Could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? No. What's the safe number? I guess that's the only thing we haven't tried yet. Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number of the safe in the shack?
1228. 1228.
My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker.
Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it.
Huh, ridiculous. How can the number to a safe...
Tell us who the caretaker is! Oh, I just realized two at the same time. I just went for it. Where is it? DL6. It happened on 12/28, 3 days after Christmas. Oh, nice.
Show us your proof! What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's identity? The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number?
Case summary. It's on the case summary page.
Case summary?
Specifically the date on which the DL6 incident occurred.
Date of the incident? December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago.
And the number on that safe is 1228.
Ah,
He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him.
I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah! This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's number to 001 because I am number 1.
Did he just reveal his credit card information? He did, didn't he?
This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. Indeed. Although it is a little weak for evidence in the murder trial, we would need some other corroborating evidence.
Where am I gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we could just get one more piece of evidence. Right. But what?
Very well, witness. You may continue.
So, she says the same things. So... Okay. So, what's your name? Of course. Yes, it does.
Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof.
Nick, don't you think you're taking this bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yenny Yogi. And all we have to do is the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name is revealed.
The DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page of this is this proof on then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where this file is the information connected to the parrot's name.
Let me just... It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yenny Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See?
Indeed, it does say that, yes.
What was his fiancée's name?
Polly Jenkins. Polly.
Exactly, Your Honor. He remembered the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That was just kind of lucky. I was just going through, well, logically speaking, game design-wise, that's why he named his parrot after her.
I see. I guess that is possible. Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé?
She's only 7 years old.
She's only 7 years old. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait! This witness, he doesn't remember.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years.
Well, let me ask you again. please state your name for the court? My name is Yanni Yogi. For 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi! So, was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have a brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing.
You really did lose everything.
Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? Do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. What karma? Where's Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... no. Edgeworth? Your Honor? I object to your judgment.
What do you mean?
I am not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi had killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh. What do I do? Do we stop him? We don't know for sure that he did it, but he feels like he did do it. But we can't stop him. I guess we leave it to him. I don't think it actually matters. This is one of those choices that doesn't actually matter. No, I'm sure Edgeworth thought about this one long and hard. This isn't my place to interfere. Nick, are you sure? There's nothing we can do about it. This is his problem now. For 15 years, I have had a reoccurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer.
You mean, in the incident where your father died?
From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me.
Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitation runs out today. Not really sure how to deal with this. It's obvious. We hold a trial. Right here, right now. We tried this fat for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned.
I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort.
Mr. Edgeworth, you still believe it, pal? I mean, you kill your dad?
I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances.
This is crazy! Just crazy!
Huh? Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more.
I'm getting my case ready.
Your case? For what?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent.
What are you talking about, pal? You just admitted to it. You confessed that he did it in court.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare.
What?
It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me.
Right.
Oh, it's 3 hours, but no way we're not finishing this today.
Then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. Statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it is unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession?
Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court.
Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday. I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key. But only if I can get it to work. Please, please. Have you noticed the detail yet, Chime? There's something very odd about his testimony here. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all.
And until now, you thought this memory was a dream?
We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events.
Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Have you figured it out yet, Chime? The gun fired once? Yes. I think, after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part that testimony that clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I'd better find out, and quick. DL6 case file. One bullet was found in his heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Oh. Come on, no, I know. That's... Is it on a different part, or do we have to push him on a different part or something? If he got shot in the heart, he wouldn't have been able to scream. And if that other guy didn't get shot, then who the heck was screaming? Yeah, okay. So it's the sixth one. Sure. Yeah, I know what we're doing here, but... it's the sixth one. So that day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I will remember it to this day. So let's try presenting the DL6 to that. No, no, that was the wrong thing. Shoot. That was the wrong file. Not that one, yeah. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot, and then the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see.
But that doesn't make any sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony.
You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this as evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. What page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony?
That's simple. The victim data. Look at the victim data at this file. It says quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, the incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What?
I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot was fired from something to do with the case?
Yes. Your Honor, I will be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Mr. Wright, please think how we feel having to look at this evidence time and time again. Every time you show us ridiculous evidence, I feel, well, mocked.
I mean, I really don't mean any harm by it, Your Honor.
Not meaning any harm. And not doing any harm are two very different things, Mr. Wright. Try again, Mr. Wright. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident?
Then it would have to be the... Oh, the incident photo, right. Look at this photograph. Yeah, I will if it gets down to it. Right now we're still on 3 lives, so we're still good.
This is a photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where?
Your Honor, please, get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in this photo. Right there. That should be obvious. The contradiction is here.
I see. A bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary? That's on page 1.
Look what it is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
God, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick, if the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought the 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick?
Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would have liked to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections?
No. No, I do not.
So you killed your father, though that was not your intention.
Yes, I did. Oh no. He's confessing.
Very well. Statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Or I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone else have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
I have an objection. Your Honor? I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce answers from us, Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It exists.
What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just, someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he?
Huh?
First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
No, the murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for the stray bullet? I haven't got a clue.
What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Bah!
The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but, the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance... For instance, what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying. For instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head. What if that's really what happened?
Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murder...
That should be murder, not murderer.
So at the time of the murderer himself was shot.
No, they did do it right. I just misread it. Okay.
And he left with the second bullet still inside?
So, Chime, who do you think murdered him?
Thus leaving the only one bullet at the scene of the crime.
Yes. I guess that's how it worked. Yes. Oh, you already know? Did you look it up, or you already know?
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean...
The murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone... Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something. Really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Miss Rosberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting.
What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... It could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh, man.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright. You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor.
Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Just say it. You gotta say it, right? Gotta put... Your Honor? There is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
The what?
Von Karma. Von Karma.
You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? Sitting right there. Ah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection?
Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating.
Prove it.
I have needed surgery now. Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He's probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull all bullets out of yourself. Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence that prove I was shot?
Do you remember? We still have something in the court record. Something we used to find Gordy. Well, if he never had a doctor take it out because that would create a witness, then yes, the bullet still must be in there, right? We still have the metal detector on us. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... but his shoulder, yeah. So... let me take a look. Is it still... no, okay. Yeah. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself.
You don't mean...
I do. There is a possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma.
Is that even possible? For all these years?
Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse! You refuse? But refusing this means... you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order! Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use that metal detector.
Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to just end this right here, right now.
Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you!
I'm afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright.
He's that much of a perfectionist, he didn't want to leave a trail, because any doctor he went to would have left a paper trail of some sort and a witness, unless he tried to kill the witness, and then that would also leave a trail as well.
Mr. Wright, well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence.
That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday.
With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. One day away from freedom. You see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof.
That's a bullet. Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial, 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. That's quite accurate.
we have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings match, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the exact same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know.
Hell, I can't breathe.
Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier.
Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air.
Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator. 15 years ago. Von Karma! It was you who screamed!
Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me!
So it was you.
You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death!
15 years earlier.
Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry.
But Karma, it's not like you make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I was careless.
I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I covered for you in the past, but not this time.
Ugh. Edgeworth!
It was a shock like none I had never known.
Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was a fool. It was the perfect crime.
Hey, Coyle. Yeah, you're just getting in here for the last bit.
Who would have thought that another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it! Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were innocent. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned.
Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? While Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was a pretty close, though. I was sure we had it. I know! I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right? Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, right? You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Ugh. So sorry. I'm not good at this kind of thing. You've got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Dear.
Woo! Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Yours is on me. Yeah, and my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares?
See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Ahem. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh?
It's over, Nick. My life is over.
Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now?
Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world.
You don't look sick.
It's Beyonce. She's gonna live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind.
Larry.
Yo, Edgy, there you are.
Yes, here I am.
Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration.
Celebration? That's unusual for you.
Harry Butts, you come along too tonight. My treat, pal.
Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it.
Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Edgeworth in school? $38? No! No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? That doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored. He came into school anyway. And he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history.
I never was good at history.
Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh?
Edgeworth?
You should have told me!
Now, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes.
There you have it. Ugh.
Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, I'd call you goody two-shoes and to the extreme.
Yeah, you get worked up too easily, too.
Death. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if only I'd known I'd become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth, want to switch, Wright? Hey, y'all. Line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go.
And after that, dinner on me.
Hey, I finally got Gumshoe's voice down pretty well. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, although Edgeworth was still in detention. December 29th, 5:02 a.m. Ranco Law Offices. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter. Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So, I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? The first train for the mountains have already left. To the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice. But still, it was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless.
I don't know about that. So, bye. Bye. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters.
Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur.
Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim.
Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. So this is technically the end of the story, like, direct story-related, cases. There's still one DLC case.
Hey, pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me Happy New Year. Talk about a pleasant surprise.
Whoa! Detective Gumshoe!
Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh?
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Edward's trying to emote and failing because he doesn't want.
Huh? Nick? Nah, haven't seen him anywhere lately. Who? Me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now. Yeah.
Who? Wright? Yes, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
Main programming, Noriki Atani. So he is the reason why Missile is named Missile. Phoenix Wright. Ah, the defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for. Yes. Oh, you should know. I've taken over the management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. And there's also another dog named Missile in Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective Ghost Trick, because of him too.
Ahem! Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Ah, yes. He was understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon. You see?
Phoenix Wright? He an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can be a star. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Not that I know what a DVD is. Everything these days is how am I supposed to keep it all straight?
Well, I'm pleased to announce that Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till this show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin a kid's dreams, you know?
Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at, anyway? Uchida?
Honey?
Right?
Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess.
All right. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her. The one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It's kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age.
Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh? Me? I'm a trainment to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. We'll see that picture in a minute, and we'll see what she's talking about. I think you can guess who the ghost is, though. Yep. So he's the one who's always tossing confetti at the end there, when they're declared not guilty. Okay, so let me just see. Continue. Okay, so I don't know. Apparently, I don't have episode 5 working right now, which works out anyway because I went over time to. Yeah, it's almost 4 hours now. So I went over time anyway to finish that last episode. So I will try and get episode 5 working. As if not, I guess we move on to Fossil Fighters, but I'm pretty sure I can get it working. If not, we'll move on to Fossil Fighters, but you know, that's an if. So, but thank you so much for watching, Chime. Thanks for tuning in, Coil. I hope you guys both enjoyed it. And yeah, yeah, good luck. Thanks. I'm probably gonna need it. Emulators and all that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good evening, afternoon, whatever. Thanks to anybody watching on the playback. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good one.